Welcome back to The Last Mile Radio. Next up from our Putnamville Conversations, we have Christine Blessinger. Christine serves as the Deputy Commissioner of Reentry and Youth Services and has been with the IDOC for 23 years. Christine began her corrections career in detention before working her way up to Executive Director and is a member of both the Council of Juvenile Justice Administration and the American Correctional Association as well. We discuss what first inspired her to work in corrections, why she dedicated the last 23 years to being of service and creating opportunities through education, and skill development in prison actually looks like, her experience working with the last mile, and more. All right. First off, thank you for having me. We're here at the Indiana Department of Correction, and we're here with Christine Blessinger, who is the Deputy Commissioner of Reentry and Youth Services here at the Indiana Department of Correction. Mm-hmm. First off, thanks for having me here today. Mm-hmm. This is really important for me. I think it's incredibly important for the individuals who are part of the last mile to be able to know that there's hope, that there's something ahead of them. And to have been in this business for as long as you have, 23 years now of being of service, you have to believe that there had to be a hope. Otherwise, why continue to do something like this? Kind of speak to what made you continue, choose, and keep going forward in this role. Mm-hmm.
So I knew that I wanted to work in the criminal justice system when I was in high school. I just didn't know exactly what part
form?
Of it. Yeah. And so I went to college and graduated with my degree in criminology.
Go Sycamores?
And yes, Indiana State.
Larry Bird territory?
Yes, yep. Exactly. And then I did my internship at one of our correctional facilities that was in Rockville that was close by. And I knew that when I did my internship there this is what I wanted to do.
What specifically... Yeah. You know, I always kind of find it interesting that, you know, in a corrections facility and seeing some of the things that go on and exist, what was it that was like, that really drew you to want to make a difference in this way? Because I find that there's three people that work in corrections. Mm-hmm. There's an individual that really has probably some, a real power struggle, like wants to have some... that someone wants to have power over somebody else maybe. Someone who doesn't really care. They just want the benefits that come with the job. And there's someone who really wants to make a difference and make a change. Mm-hmm. And those are the people we want to seek out and want to know. So what maybe kind of was that you saw and that you knew that you could make a difference and could have an effect on someone else's life?
Well, I had a professor that in some of my criminal justice classes that actually worked at the facility that I did my internship. So first, like listening to him, and then we took a tour of the facility, and I knew when I stepped foot in that facility, I was like, I really do have a passion for this. Like I felt that I knew that wanting to help people is exactly like what I wanted to do. And so it was so interesting to me. I mean, just listening to the ladies' stories, listening to other stories, I just knew that when I got there, I was like, I can help these people. I know that I can, and this is something that I want to do.
Was there anything in your history or anything that you had any, relationships or had been, informed about the justice impacted people? It's just, this was your first one and you really kind of jumped into it?
Yeah, no, I don't have any family members that were incarcerated. I had a couple of friends that were incarcerated. I actually had had one friend when I was in high school that kind of got into drugs, stole from me, actually. Yeah. Some pain medicine from my parents' house.
We don't discriminate. We don't discriminate from friends or
so that, like, I always think back about that, and I think, like, how did I not know? What could I have done differently? How could I have helped her? So I think that also played a part into it.
That makes perfect sense. So as Deputy Commissioner of the Reentry and Youth Services, kind of speak to maybe what your role is and what kind of effects you have on the justice impacted individuals that we are a part of the last mile and everything?
Yeah, so as Deputy Commissioner of Reentry and Youth Services, I oversee all of the programs, all of education, the whole reentry aspect of it. I oversee HIRE, which is Hoosier Initiative for Reentry, and that division actually helps to place incarcerated individuals into jobs, pre-release and post-release. I oversee community corrections. And then ultimately the Division of Youth Services too.
Talk to us about how the importance of the hope aspect of having the reentry, the ability, because I get the questions all the time, what was the most difficult thing? And really it's the self-worth, the identity of maybe who you're going to be when you get out. Like, how important is that to give them that hope that they can find something that can make them feel a part of their community and not one that took advantage of it?
Oh, yeah, that's extremely important. And I think what is the most important is that the programs that we provide, in our facilities. So we offer a lot of basic education, GED. We offer several vocational programs, from logistics to building trades to welding, CNC, cosmetology, barber, and obviously the last mile. We also provide industries and shops where they can work, joint ventures. We have pallet shops, we have truss shops, print shops, metal shops, all kinds of call centers, and just all kinds of other stuff for them to do. I think it's providing them those opportunities and then finding them a job prior to being released or post-release, right when they're released. Employment, that's the most important thing. I mean, having a job, having transportation, having a place to live, those are the important things for reentry.
Where do you feel that you've developed that trust with them? Because that's a big part of this. And the turnover is so huge in corrections a lot of the time. But now you've been doing this for 23 years, so you're an incredibly trustworthy person when you come to play. That has to be incredibly impactful for you, because you know that the people can trust you because you've been here long enough, and and there's consistency through that.
Right. I spend a lot of my time in facilities developing those relationships. I'm present. I try to be around. They know me when I walk into a facility. You see how they responded when they saw me today. Miss Blessinger, how you doing? Let me show you what I've done today.
They're awfully proud of this too.
Yes,
the things they've got to
they're
accomplish.
very proud of what they do. And the last mile, it's so important for them to be able to move forward. And I come here, I participate, I develop those relationships. I think that is important. To be able to be honest with them, and that earns that trust. If they're asking me some unrealistic question about what's going to happen in their future, and no, that's not going to happen. I'm going to be, I'm going to tell them, I'm going to be honest with them. They might ask me about, hey, do you think I can get a job here? And if it's not possible, and I think, not saying that not everything is possible, but if it's an unrealistic goal they have, I'm going to tell them.
Right.
You need to think about this first.
This could be plan A, but you better have plan B and plan C in place, because you don't want this last semblance of hope to be dashed, and all of a sudden you're just like, muscle memory takes over, and you're, well, I'm worthless. I can't do anything. When you've built and established something here that's completely different.
Right.
What's your experience been here now with the last mile? I mean, I'm rather new to it myself, but I just see it as this incredibly purposeful thing that I now get to be a part of. What has been your experience so far, being around it for so long?
I think you hit the nail on the head earlier when you said it gives inspiration, inspires, and hope for people. It's a great experience. I mean, they not only do they teach the technical skills and the computer skills, but they also teach the confidence and the presentation skills. I mean, watching them give presentations and how confident they are, it makes you so proud of what they do. It's great. I mean, they have the remote instructors, just having that relationship with the last mile. I mean, it's wonderful.
The idea around the last mile, and the significance of importance of it. The idea that you want to build confidence. Inmates, the incarcerated, justice impacted individuals, there's a innocence to them because they still behave like you almost start over. And it really was for me. Like I remember when I got my first car when I got out. You know, I used to be able to walk into a dealership and buy the dealership. I mean, but now going into the dealership to buy my first car, felt like a kid again. There's something to that. Maybe they've never presented in front of a room before like they did, and the pride that comes with it. Yeah. I find that most things in a prison setting are a lot based in false bravado. And have you found that watching them graduate from a program like this instills that kind of hope that they can be successful, and also it's almost like feeling this for the first time again because they've forgotten it for so long?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And providing them those opportunities and those skills and that education that we discussed earlier. And like with the last mile, being able to have an employment rate overall for these individuals when they leave. I mean, we went back and looked at numbers, and, the employment rate is like 83%. For these incarcerated individuals when they leave. Now, maybe they're not getting into those jobs that are technical jobs, but they're getting into jobs.
Well, so the parole system puts in place, you most likely have to have a job to be in good status. So it makes sense. But to find the purposeful one, I think, is important. And to that point, like if you had the ability to, work with other state deputy commissioners to launch the last mile in their facilities, I mean, what kind of guidance would you give them to maybe take on that task?
Well, I mean, working with the last mile, it's a great relationship that we have with them. The communication that we have, the remote instructors that they provide, the collaboration. I mean, it's exactly what you would want for a program. I mean, it's providing the assistance and communicates. It's such a model program. I mean, with the web development and the audio visual program, I mean, they really empower those incarcerated individuals to excel. So, I mean, it really does break the cycle of incarceration for these guys. It sounds like
it's would be and feel like it's easily acceptable. What would be the roadblock for people who are in other facilities or other states that are, like, I don't know, what is there something that you found that has been maybe early on was difficult to maybe overcome to get the program in your facility?
Not really.
Just a matter of someone who's willing to go all in and and be invested in something.
Yeah, and I mean, and the incarcerated individuals, they need to set the example. They've got to be able to do the program, and they work together. They've got to live together. A lot of them do when they are in this program, and they've got to do what they need to do to get out, and they have to have that mindset.
You do some amazing work. See how easy that was? Look at you.
Last question. Why you stumped me on the last one?
It's not stumping. It's stumping. So Christine Blessinger, Deputy Commissioner of Reentry and Youth Services here for the Indiana Department of Correction. Thanks for allowing this type of program in your facility to make a real positive change. Thank you for allowing me to come in here and be of service today. So keep doing your work.
Thank you. I appreciate you being here today, because I think the speech that you gave the incarcerated individuals earlier it's inspirational. It's one of the best that I've heard. So thank you.
Well, thank you. That means a lot to me. I try to make it the best every time I do it. One of the young men came up to me afterwards, and he goes like, "Yeah, I was talking shit about you before you got here, because like, what's this guy gonna tell us or teach us? What does he know about?" And then he came up and apologized, and I'm like, "Hey, man, I don't care, man." And that's the point. I have to kind of come in and tell them that I'm just like them.
Yeah.
And I am. We all are.
Right.
We all are. We're all like them. We're all flawed human beings trying to be better every day. So You are just doing a hell of a job of being better every day. So I thank you.
Thank you.